Chapter 3, Level 2 of Mindfulness. Benefits. After mastering Level 1 mindfulness, you can progress to more advanced practices. Level 2 mindfulness enables you to manage your emotions effectively. You gain complete control over your mind and can choose to be happy or sad at any time. You can easily overcome sorrow and bring happiness and joy to yourself without relying on anyone else. If you are well practiced at this level, you can remain peaceful, calm, and at ease even when faced with challenging situations. As the saying goes, an unshakable mind amidst the ever-changing world. The story. Once, a most nun venerable and a young nun were working together in silence, focusing on their work with mindfulness. Suddenly, the young nun dropped a plate, causing it to shatter. The most nun venerable observed the incident and had to decide how to react. Here are 5 possible, the most nun venerable's reactions in this situation. First situation, sternly saying, "Be mindful." Second situation, gently saying, "You need to be mindful." Third situation, stare at her and say nothing. Fourth situation, say nothing and don't look. Fifth situation, rush to help immediately. Take a moment to choose one reaction above before continuing. Explain 5 situations. First situation, sternly saying, "Be mindful." This response is a common characteristic of individuals who have not yet attained a high level of proficiency in their practice, as it often reveals lingering anger, diminished politeness, and an insufficient capacity for compassion in the face of emerging anger. This reaction is frequently observed among individuals who are still in the process of honing their mindfulness practice. It tends to manifest as a reflection of unresolved anger, a decline in courteous behavior, and a limited ability to extend compassion when confronted with the onset of anger. In such instances, the lack of proficiency in mindfulness may result in the inability to effectively manage emotions, particularly anger. Rather than responding with equanimity and understanding, individuals may find themselves reacting impulsively, allowing anger to overshadow their usual politeness and compassion. Moreover, this response often signifies an ongoing inner struggle with anger, indicating that the individual has not yet developed the necessary skills to navigate and transform this challenging emotion. Instead of acknowledging and addressing anger with mindfulness and compassion, they may succumb to its influence, leading to a lapse in their usual standards of behavior. Furthermore, the insufficient capacity for compassion in the face of emerging anger suggests a need for further cultivation of loving kindness and empathy through mindfulness practice. By deepening their understanding of their own emotions and cultivating compassion towards themselves and others, individuals can gradually develop greater resilience in dealing with challenging situations. Second situation, gently saying, "You need to be mindful." The senior nun chooses to exhibit tolerance and empathy. Instead of assigning blame, she kindly assists the young nun in recognizing the situation and encourages her to enhance her focus. In this scenario, the senior nun exemplifies qualities of wisdom, compassion, and leadership through her response to the young nun's lapse in mindfulness. Rather than reacting with judgment or blame, she chooses to embody tolerance and empathy, recognizing the opportunity to offer guidance and support. By refraining from assigning blame, the senior nun creates a safe and supportive environment for the young nun to acknowledge her lapse in focus without fear of criticism or reprimand. Instead of exacerbating the situation with negativity, she approaches it with kindness, and understanding, fostering a sense of trust and openness between them. Furthermore, the senior nun's decision to assist the young nun in recognizing the situation demonstrates her commitment to nurturing the growth and development of others. Rather than leaving the young nun to struggle on her own, she offers her guidance and encouragement, empowering her to learn from her experience and improve her mindfulness practice. Through her actions, the senior nun not only demonstrates the importance of mindfulness and compassion, but also embodies the qualities of a wise and compassionate mentor. By leading with empathy and understanding, she creates an atmosphere of mutual respect and support within the community, fostering a culture of growth and learning for all. Third situation: stare at her and say nothing. In this scenario, the senior nun opts for a state of silence, refraining from verbal communication. This decision is made with a deep sense of comprehension and patience, aimed at preserving a harmonious work environment and avoiding unnecessary tension. The capacity to manage emotions and respond constructively during challenging circumstances is of paramount importance. This perspective illustrates the individual's emotional control as they refrain from allowing either positive or negative emotions to dictate their actions. Nevertheless, the nun continues to experience inner disturbance and ultimately chooses to maintain her silence. In this scenario, the senior nun makes a deliberate choice to maintain silence, refraining from verbal communication despite potentially challenging circumstances. This decision is not impulsive, but rather reflects her profound understanding of the situation and her commitment to preserving harmony within the community. With a deep sense of comprehension and patience, the senior nun recognizes the potential for tension or conflict that could arise from engaging in verbal communication. By choosing silence, she aims to diffuse any potential sources of discord and maintain a peaceful work environment. The senior nun's decision also underscores her capacity to manage emotions effectively, even in the face of challenging circumstances. Rather than allowing herself to be swayed by either positive or negative emotions, she demonstrates emotional control by choosing a response that aligns with the greater good of the community. Despite her inner disturbance, the senior nun maintains her silence as a form of self-discipline and restraint. This act of self-regulation reflects her commitment to upholding the principles of mindfulness and non-reactivity, even when faced with internal turmoil. Overall, this scenario highlights the importance of emotional intelligence and self-awareness in navigating interpersonal dynamics and fostering harmonious relationships. By choosing silence and exercising emotional control, the senior nun sets an example of mindfulness and equanimity for others to follow, ultimately contributing to a culture of mutual respect and understanding within the community. Fourth situation: say nothing and don't look. In this scenario, the senior nun upholds a state of mindfulness, displaying no outward response. While she may acknowledge the sound, her heightened awareness enables her to understand that a sound is merely a sound, preventing any disruptive thoughts from emerging. In this particular scenario, the senior nun demonstrates an exemplary embodiment of mindfulness, characterized by her composed and unperturbed demeanor in the face of external stimuli. Despite the occurrence of a potentially distracting sound, her inner state remains undisturbed, reflecting her deep-rooted mindfulness practice. Rather than reacting impulsively or allowing the sound to disrupt her mental equilibrium, the senior nun maintains a state of heightened awareness and presence. She acknowledges the sound with equanimity, recognizing it as just one among the many transient phenomena that arise and pass in her sensory field. Through her heightened mindfulness, the senior nun recognizes that a sound is simply a sound, neither inherently good nor bad, but merely a phenomenon that arises and ceases in the present moment. By cultivating this understanding, she prevents any disruptive thoughts or emotional reactions from arising in response to the sound. The senior nun's ability to maintain mindfulness in the midst of external distractions reflects her deep understanding of the impermanent and insubstantial nature of sensory experiences. Rather than becoming entangled in the fluctuations of her mind or external events, she remains anchored in the present moment, free from the sway of fleeting phenomena. In essence, this scenario serves as a testament to the transformative power of mindfulness in cultivating inner peace, resilience, and clarity of mind. Through diligent practice, individuals can cultivate a similar sense of inner calm and presence, enabling them to navigate life's challenges with grace and equanimity. Fifth situation: rush to help immediately. The senior nun makes a swift decision to address the situation, potentially momentarily sacrificing her mindfulness. However, her profound compassion and kindness shine through brightly. From the narrative, it becomes evident that within any given situation, a multitude of emotions can surface, leading to a variety of emotional responses. These responses may encompass desirable positive emotions, as well as undesirable negative ones that can evoke distress. Psychologists have always been interested in the question of how to control our emotions. If we could learn to master our emotions, it would be incredibly valuable. One way to achieve this goal is by practicing level 2 of mindfulness. This is a precious key that can help people open the door conduct to success in life by controlling their emotions. As the saying goes, the one who can control their emotions is truly successful in life. Explanation of various types of feelings. In order to engage in level 2, mindfulness, it is essential to gain a deeper understanding of various mental factors. In line with Buddhist psychology, human emotions can be categorized into 3 distinct realms: negative feelings, positive feelings, and neutral feelings. Positive emotions. When discussing the sphere of positive emotions, it can be further subdivided into 2 segments: positive emotions related to the body and positive emotions related to the mind. 1. Positive emotions related to the body. Positive emotions linked to the body stem from bodily experiences. For example, when savoring a delicious meal, in this context, the sensation of happiness is a positive emotion that originates from the interplay of your taste buds with various flavors, as well as the harmonious blend of saltiness or sweetness that pleases your palate. Ultimately, this results in a gratifying and pleasurable physical experience. 2. Positive emotions related to the mind. Positive emotions related to the mind are those that arise due to our thoughts and memories. For instance, when we recall happy moments and reminisce about them, we experience a genuine feeling of happiness. This feeling of happiness is an example of a positive emotion that is brought about by our mind. Negative emotions. When discussing the sphere of negative emotions, it can be further subdivided into 2 segments: negative emotions related to the body and negative emotions related to the mind. 1. Negative emotions related to the body. These are distressing and uneasy emotions that originate from physical sensations within the body. For instance, consider an elderly individual grappling with leg pain due to joint problems. This discomfort represents an unpleasant state resulting from the sensation of pain, specifically in the leg. 2. Negative emotions related to the mind. These are distressing and uncomfortable emotions that originate from our thoughts. For example, when experiencing leg pain, when someone experiences leg pain, they may think, "This pain is so bothersome. I must be getting old." Or, "Why does it keep hurting? I am so miserable." These thoughts trigger negative emotions stemming from the mental realm, leading the individual to feel depressed and distressed. It's important to distinguish that the negative emotion in this scenario is related to the mind, while the pain is a negative emotion related to the body. Upon careful reflection, it becomes evident that these two types of emotions are distinct. However, since they arise sequentially, you might think they are one and the same. Neutral emotions. Neutral emotions neither lean towards negativity nor positivity. They remain in a neutral state. Although somewhat challenging to pinpoint, these emotions do indeed exist. When we break down the three primary types of emotions further, we find 5 distinct categories. These 5 emotional types consistently manifest in our lives, but they do so sequentially, never simultaneously. This implies that when one emotion is prevalent, no other emotion can arise concurrently. Only after the subsiding of one emotion can another one take its place. The 6 steps of practice. Step 1. Distinct. Differentiate the 5 types of emotion. When an emotion arises, observe to determine which of the 5 types it belongs to. Step 2. Observe the emotion. Once you've become adept at distinguishing each type of emotion, begin to observe the duration of each emotion and take note of when it fades away. Subsequently, pay attention to which type of emotion emerges next. Step 3. Seek desired emotion. Now that you have gained the ability to differentiate between various emotions and comprehend their origins, you can now intentionally cultivate the emotions you wish to experience. For instance, to evoke a delightful sensation in your body, simply switch on a fan to create a refreshing breeze. If you desire to relive the happiness you felt during a recent charitable trip, close your eyes and immerse yourself in memories of those heartwarming experiences. Step 4. Eliminate unwanted feelings. Having a clear understanding of what triggers different emotions, you can now take control by minimizing those triggers. For instance, if dwelling on hurtful words is causing you sadness, redirect your thoughts towards planning an upcoming charity event. Alternatively, you can close your eyes and repeat the affirmation, "From now on, I consciously choose to think, speak, and act with love, forgiveness, and tolerance." This will help. Step 5. Observe feelings in daily activities. Emotions naturally arise during our daily routines. Endeavor to identify these emotions, whether they lean towards negativity or positivity. The key lies in acknowledging them rather than forcibly suppressing the ones you may prefer not to experience. Step 6. Be aware of your body movements in daily activities. By practicing mindfulness and focused attention, you can become more aware of the emotions that arise within you. Rather than trying to suppress or alter these emotions, simply observe them. While eating, pay attention to your response to the food. Do you find it delicious or unappetizing? How strong is your craving or aversion? When seated, become aware of the chair and how your body feels on it. How comfortable or uncomfortable do you feel? During a walk, take notice of the emotions and thoughts that arise. Are you attached to the past or racing towards the future? In conversation, be mindful of the emotions that arise. Do you experience discomfort when listening or enjoyment when the other person speaks? When listening to someone, observe the emotions that come up. Are you bothered by their voice or any negative traits they may exhibit? All you need to do is acknowledge these emotions. The practice involves counting how often different emotions arise during your day. The more you recognize them, the more you'll improve your sensitivity to these emerging emotions. By acknowledging them, you gradually weaken their hold over you, ultimately giving you control over them rather than being controlled by them. With consistent practice at this level, individuals can attain inner peace and project a confident and composed demeanor. Their skill in managing emotions will undoubtedly have a positive influence on those they interact with. To practice effectively, it is advisable for practitioners to delve deeper into the concept of the 5 aggregates.